Hello, people of the podcast, social, YouTube universe. I am Naomi, and this is my podcast, Getting to Know Me. Maybe I should come up with a jingle. Maybe it'll make it more professional. Anyway, I invited my lovely friend Melanie to come and do a podcast, and we talked about different cultures and society today. Lots of heavy topics, and we also talked about being emotionally vulnerable with our friends, as well as trying to be more open. So buckle up, spend an hour with us, and if you ever have anything you want to say, please leave a comment down below. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow us on our social medias. See you later. Okay, we're recording twice.
What? We are doing it now.
Again.
For real.
Hello, Melanie Buffer.
Hello, Naomi Kane.
We did record a good 5 minutes. However, technology fails us, just like it fails us when we try and be friends long distance. Is that a word?
Yes.
Distantly? No, I've made
Which
it
is what we were talking about. What a crazy
my
segue.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Who is listening to this conversation? I don't really want to try and mimic it again. Alright, oh well, let's just do it. Let's roll with it.
We lost it. We let it flow. It's gone.
Roll with the punches. Amen. Right, okay, so let's talk about our history. So we are three with Rebecca, who I did the other podcast with, and I messaged you pretty much as I was editing it. I was going, do you want to do a podcast? Is that something you do? And you'd be like, yes, I'd love to.
Literally the dream. The dream is to be in a podcast. You've made it.
You're welcome. To you and you and you. So why did you want to do a podcast? Why is it so important to you to say your piece?
Just, everyone wants to feel like their story gets told.
Yeah.
And this podcast is such a cool way for people to be open. Because I feel like, you guys talked about this last time, social media is one way for people to post about their life. But it's not usually true.
Yeah. 100%.
Or in a way, it's not authentic.
Yeah.
And podcasts, for some reason, I feel like are a little bit deeper, and it's like, it gets to what you really want to talk about, you know?
100%.
So
that's why I started this podcast.
I have a story to tell. Why not?
So, we went into a bit of our history, so we're going to have to repeat it. Tell me, again, tell me what happened in 2014, 4 years ago.
Yes, 2014. Well, studying abroad. We were super excited. Mm-hmm. We were on that, no visa thing, so we had to get out of the Eurozone for 10 days, and we decided on UK.
Which I thought was super dodgy, by the way.
I was so not thrilled to go to the UK because it's never really interested me. It's a place that it's like, it's there. It's across the sea, and it has the Big Ben and the London Bridge, and that's all you need to know about the UK. Mm-hmm. But we discovered a third national treasure.
Oh, that's so cute. That's disgusting. I want to throw up.
So we didn't know you, and we were trying to look up rapidly on the way from the airplane to where you guys were going to pick us up. What do they look like? What do they look like? Someone tell me, because I don't know. And Rebecca told you the story about how she couldn't understand a dang thing that your brother and his friend were saying, and it was
so incredible.
I was just laughing my head off. Funniest start to any friendship. It was just so much packed into the 10 days, and I feel like you really worked with us, which we really appreciate, because we were trying to we were trying to see literally all of England. That was my plan, at least. All right, let's see this whole country in 10 days. And you were like,
so we never have to come again.
Here, watch these movies in my loft, in my, family's home. And it was like, but it was such a good experience. I think it bonded us in a way that, you know, not many friendships start this way.
It was like the Big Brother effect, right? It was like the Big Brother effect, like squeeze into this place for 10 days, you'll live together, eat together, do lots of things, and you're going to be friends afterwards. It was super weird.
Like, very unorthodox way of meeting people,
unorthodox.
But it worked for some reason, and now...
Now we're friends.
Yeah, we were friends, and we see each other, like, once a year, you know? Like, well, at least we try to see each other, like...
Long distance is expensive, guys, just to warn you. So, another reason you wanted to come on is because you wanted to talk about stuff with your culture and your family and the whole social media thing as well. It kind of, like, resonated with you, didn't it?
Yeah. For sure, because, you know, it's something everyone can relate to. Like, every millennial, every person who has a social media account has at least once posted something that was not necessarily how they were truly feeling.
Yeah.
To kind of misguide or mislead from, like, your true, what you really want to talk about, which is, like, because sadness is not okay in this day and age. Like, it's sad to say it, but it's like no one wants to hear about what makes you sad.
Yeah.
And I think it's getting better. Like, it's becoming more socially acceptable to, like, talk about your issues, go to therapy, get medication, and, you know, do good to yourself. Like, being kind to yourself and taking days off from work when you're, you know, feeling super overwhelmed. Like, I think that should be a bigger thing. But, yeah, it's like the thing that I was telling you about, it was culturally, what makes me sad is I don't get to celebrate my culture in my town the way I wish I could, because the only family I have, because we're immigrants, you know, my parents immigrated here. It's just me, my mom, my dad. My cousin just came, but she lives a little bit further than I would like her to, and I feel like no one really, I don't want to say nobody cares, but it's just not
talked about.
Like, so I'm Ecuadorian. Yeah, I'm South American. It's not, I mean, Mexican culture is very prominent in LA. It's super prominent. Yeah. But I just feel like all my friends are non-Latinos.
Yeah.
And for non-Latinos, it's difficult to get behind the whole idea of, you know, let's go out and celebrate these holidays that are not known to us. It's tough. But I'm working through it. I'm trying to find other people who,
are the same,
you know, share the same values. And I mean, you got to stay with my family, so you kind of know, like, we sometimes are super Spanish, but, you know, for the most part, they try to tone it down.
Yeah, and I feel like even, like, coming to LA just for a visit, it's very stigmatized in the sense of, like, if you don't fit the LA box, then don't go there. Like, it's either, like, carry on with like what's going on, or, like, shape up or ship out, basically. So I'm interested, because we've never properly talked about it, I'm interested to talk about the side of, like, your parents being immigrants and, like, your culture and all that kind of stuff, because that's, like, it makes you. So I'd absolutely love to talk to you about all that kind of stuff. I mean, have you ever talked to your mum and dad about, like, the immigrant side of when they came to California and stuff?
I have, and so my mom came here, you know, they both came here around the time when Ronald Reagan was president.
Okay.
And back then, it was easy for people to just get pardoned for, like, I think he passed a law that just pardoned all the immigrants. Like, you know what, they're here, might as well stay. Like, and after a certain year, you have to quote me on this, I'm not Wikipedia, I don't have all the facts, but, so they got, like, basically free citizenship, and it was like, sweet, we got to stay here. But the stigma is that you need to blend in, like, learn English, get a good paying job, get a house, or else, you know, you're worthless. Like, you're just another lazy, like, immigrant.
Which is crazy to me, because America is founded on immigrants. I don't understand how much of a problem they have.
A country founded by immigrants. Immigrant has become a word that causes so much,
it's dirty.
Like, stigma and hatred. It's like, it's just so weird to me that
that's
this
so mad.
somehow turned around on us.
Yeah.
When everybody is an immigrant to this country.
Literally everybody.
And, like, these people who talk about it with such ignorance will never know what it's like. Like, my cousin is, scared to go to San Diego because there's, like, a border patrol checkpoint,
Yeah.
And living in fear of, immigration police coming and separating people from their families. It's just, there's so much lack of love in the world.
And it's so heartless.
It's really bad. My parents knew this, and trying to protect my family and me, especially, they gave me the whitest name ever, Melanie Heather. They, put me in English schools. They made sure that I didn't have an accent. I wasn't allowed to, like, have my culture. It was kind of taken from me in a way because of the stigmas. And because my parents feared that I would get picked on, made fun of, and all that. And maybe I'm grateful for them a little bit, but in the long run, I feel like I lost something along the way that was really important. And now I'm at 24, 25. I'm like, who am I?
Yeah. I didn't even think about, like, that side of it. It's like you're trying to, like you said, not live in fear, trying to make friends and not be picked on for it. But it's like you are losing a part of yourself doing that, like you say, you are losing a part of yourself. That's so crazy. Does it make you feel?
It really makes me want to do 23andMe.
Yeah, 23andMe.
Be like, just to remind myself, like, oh yeah, I come from here. I come from South America.
Just put a lot of post-its around your room.
Remember?
I am Latina and I am gorgeous. That's so crazy. What did it make you feel like when all, like, the separated families and stuff was in the news over, like, the last few months especially?
It's infuriating because, there's so much contradiction in the media where, the children are getting shot in the schools and their lives matter. We should protect them. When here you are, like, taking children away from their families and basically just committing the same crime but on a different scale.
Sure.
So it's like, what is the goal of the government? Because there's no kindness in these.
No, not at all.
In these actions. There's no moral compass whatsoever. And for people like me and, seeing this, it's one thing to, like, share the message, spread the word. That's important. So whatever action people can take is super important right now. What I signed up to do was to become, so if anyone speaks a Latino, Indigenous, Spanish language, they need people to kind of advocate for these kids, these children, and be translators for them in these courts. Wow. Because they're taking these people to court, but they don't provide them with translators, which seems... Really? Yeah. So just being an advocate for the children, because, like, they're 5. They don't understand, what is happening to them. They don't understand, like... Sorry, I think I lost you.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a bunch of programs that kind of help the situation, and it's important to take action.
Yeah,
that's the most important, like, conclusion that I've come to.
Yeah. And, like, even though people, like, to me, immigrants, like, pretty much trying to sugarcoat it, like, when you boil it down and you're, like, properly, like, straight with it, it is racism. Like, that's what it is, really. It's so stupid to me. I don't understand it at all.
It's very, very dumb.
Oh, man.
And it's causing a lot of resentment along groups. And
yeah. Because LA is pretty diverse, well, like, when you look for it. So, like, you have a lot of different, like, friend groups, and, like you say, you've had, like, white friend groups and other different, like, backgrounds. So how do you, like, cope with trying to fit in all of these different places? Is it, like, has it been confusing for you at any point, or is it just, like, you just get on with it?
It's not confusing, but it is, like, it's trying to find where you fit in. And when you're a kid, all you want to do is, like, find a group of friends and, like, fit in with them, like, have a close group of friends. And for me, when I was in, like, high school, I didn't really have that close of a group of friends, but the general school atmosphere is American. Like, generally, most schools are white. The ones that I went to private Catholic school. And, it's like just white culture has been so prominent. And so it's the most popular,
Yeah.
so people tend to navigate towards that, and then that's kind of what I associated with for a while. And in college was the same. I went to a super Americanized, big white population college, and I kind of, I was like, oh, I recognize this, and I'm gonna like, there's a word for that. It's like code switching, I guess.
Okay.
Is when you like, when people, it's like when you talk on the phone and your voice automatically switches to like,
okay,
be more
yeah.
customer service friendly or something like that. You kind of like change yourself to be more, American or white, or just like whatever you need to do to, gain the advantage in that situation. So that's kind of what it is like you're trying to fit in. That's the most socially acceptable group to be in. So you just mold along with that.
Yeah. It's so crazy because it's just like, I've never like properly thought about it as in like them terms of like growing up in school, growing up in different cultures. It's so annoying that you have to deal with that.
I'm not sure much about England. Is it pretty diverse?
Super diverse. So like it's very like cut down the middle. It's like either you're just get along with it, or you like, again, like these immigrants, blah 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 blah. It's just like I think that's everywhere, but yeah, it's still super annoying.
Yeah.
Like I love like visiting your family and staying with your family, because it's like even the little like family traditions like you guys have. Like I'd never had an empanada before, and that was really cool. Like to experience like stuff, just little stuff like that was so nice to just like kind of experience, and like sitting down together, and because that's not a massive thing people do anymore, like sitting down and having a meal together, and it's just really nice. I didn't sit down and be like, wow, I am in a Latina home. It's just like I am in a really welcoming environment. Like it shouldn't be like, although culture is super important to everyone, it shouldn't just be like you're stepping into a Jewish household, or you're stepping into like a white household. It should just be like, you are welcome here, be yourself here.
But you're right, it's like, it shouldn't matter. It's like, as long as you have an open mind coming into a new culture, and if the culture is open to having visitors, it shouldn't be, So I think we need more of those kind of cultural exchanges where people can really see what it's all about. So I think the biggest reason for hatred is ignorance. People just don't want to learn or don't want to know that these people are people, and that they have cultures and traditions and
have families,
they sit around a table,
love each other, and like so much is the same, but everyone just thinks it's that's this way of doing it. It's so bizarre. 2018, let's be better, guys. Come on.
Come on. We're better than
we
this.
We can do it.
It just really jitters my cabinets, Really rattles my doorknob.
It jitters your cabinets. You've never said that in the 4 years I've known you. You're absolutely making things up now. It really jitters my cabinets.
Yes.
Oh my.
Nah, I'm just going to stop there.
Yeah, please stop. So, what else did you want to talk about?
Let's see. Well, we can talk about... Wow, just cough in the middle. No,
I'm so sorry. Carry on. Do it again.
We can talk about how... So, you, me, and Rebecca, the three of us.
The trio.
We have a dynamic, the three of us, where, I can't even explain the dynamic. It's just...
Try to. I'd love to see you try to.
It's like the Three Stooges, but smarter and prettier, and we just kind of like go on adventures. That's just us, the three. And it's like group mentality. We, like, one of us cracks a joke, and the two of us like just build upon it, and then we all just kind of like end up in a circle laughing. Somehow.
Let's be honest, that I'm the wittier of the three.
You're the wittiest.
Yes, thank you very much.
Rebecca's the most organized, and I bring the personality.
You bring the sparkle.
I bring the eyebrows. No.
You bring the brows. Melanie Buffer. # bringing the brows.
Bringing the brows since 93.
Oh my gosh.
But the two of us have our own dynamic. Like, you, Rebecca, have you guys' own dynamic. I feel like when the two of you are together, correct me if I'm wrong, it's more mellow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Me and Rebecca are like extroverted introverts. So, like, we're very similar in, like, we know when to, like, hype it up, and we know when to, like, just rein it back.
I've told Rebecca this.
Yeah.
She knows this, and I'm much more active
Yeah.
than her.
Yeah.
So the reason we work so well together and why we travel well together is because I will bring it to 100%.
Yeah.
But I'll read her levels and I'll bring it down to her percentage.
Yeah.
Wherever I'm at.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I will tire everybody out.
Yeah.
So, I'm very much like, go, go, go. And she's like very much like, hey, let's rest for a little bit. Like, let's just chill. And I'm like, yeah, all right, let's chill. Let's chill. I could keep going, but I'm going to chill. So I feel like when you guys are together,
I will go as hard as I can, and then I'll just like crash. So I'm like in the middle of you both, like I should slow down, but I'm like, yeah, let's go, and I'm like, poof.
Between the three of us, it's all super balanced, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely.
We need at least one person to be like, hey guys, let's just slow down for a little bit, otherwise like we're gonna hurt ourselves.
Yeah, legit.
So Rebecca's always been that person for me, and I appreciate it, and I think she appreciates how I like tug her a little bit more to do things.
Yeah.
But it's always a push and pull with friendships, and sometimes we've pushed each other a little bit too much, where I want to go and she wants to stay, or like it's always a balance, but we've worked out. So when you and Rebecca, if it's like a nice mellow time.
Yeah.
With you and me, it's like
complete opposite.
I feel like you don't say no to me, and then I just like parade you around for too long.
That's what I mean. Like, I will happily like go with the flow. Like, if we're like doing this and this, I'm like, I'm not one. I don't like being a buzzkill. So like a lot of the time, I should like not do stuff, and I'm just like, but it's so fun, or I'm really enjoying it, and I just don't know when to say no. So it's not like a personal thing to anyone. Like I physically cannot say no.
Yes, no, and I know that, and for some reason I still forget to ask and check in with you. But even like the times I do sometimes check in, it's like, no, I'm having a great time. It's like, all right, let's keep going. But like I feel like Rebecca is that one stop button where it's like, no, we need to stop, and we don't have that, the two of us, because we're just like, we're seeking a good time, we want to have fun.
Yeah.
And then we end up crashing and burning.
Crashing a lot. Hashtag after Disneyland, I like passed out so hard. I died after Disneyland. Let's just say I lost one of my lives after Disneyland. Not until after I saw your Snapchat. I don't even remember falling asleep after Disneyland. I literally just saw your Snapchat after, and you're like, bless her heart, she did it so good today for my birthday. And I was like, wow, I am dead in that picture.
You were dead. You were like, I didn't know how tired you were, and then I looked over and you looked like you were about to like, your soul was leaving your body. I
swear, I lost a life that night.
If life was a video game, you absolutely lost a life. Like,
oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah. It was a great day though. 10 out of 10.
It was so fun. I really loved, like, I can't express how awesome it was to have you there for my birthday.
I know, we'd never had a birthday together.
Guys, he's such a trooper.
I'm so glad I went to Disneyland with you, because you just made it like so fun. You literally was like acting like you'd never been there before. It was so fun to see you, and on your birthday was just so special.
Everybody looked at you and was like, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
That was the best British accent you've ever done since knowing you.
What? I wasn't even trying to do a British.
That was literally the best one I've ever heard you do. What the heck? Happy birthday. What the bloody hell?
No.
Well done. You weren't Scottish for once. Huzzah. Or Indian English is what you tend to do as well.
I do Indian a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, it starts off kind of like what it's supposed to be, and then it immediately just bombs into
I feel like for the listeners, you have to do your best British accent, or they're not going to understand what I mean.
So when I do it, I immediately think Queen of England, and I just start talking about corgis, and I'm just like,
go for it.
Oh, I just love my corgis. They're so precious. I love the little bombs.
Bombs?
Bombs. Isn't that what you say for
Bombs?
Butts? Bomb?
You literally said bomb like an atom bomb. I love the corgi little bombs. Okay. You weird queen.
I know, don't talk to me like that.
There's the Scottish one.
Oh, God.
Come on, carry on. A few more sentences and then I'll relieve you.
Oh.
You can do it.
I feel like this has gone on too long now.
That is like so Scottish. It's ridiculous.
Maybe, I don't know. I think I don't know.
This has gone on now for too long. It's like a weird mix between Scottish, Irish, and like Indian all together.
Why does the Indian always come out strong?
Great accent, 10 out of 10. I just love listening to it just because it's so ridiculous and hilarious. So it brings me joy. Oh. So
that was my 90s movie transitional music.
I love it. So that trip as well, we got to do Halloween together properly, and we dressed up as Inside Out characters.
Yes, because I remember the first time we went to see you was Halloween, and you guys were like, "What the heck is that?" And I was like, "Wait,
it's just not a thing we celebrate. It's just not. It's not a thing."
Yeah. So you got to experience a true, proper American Halloween.
Because did we see the movie the first time I came?
Yes.
Yeah. So we saw Inside Out in the drive-in, which was just like one of the highlights of my trip. It's like the best thing ever.
There were a few. No, but that drive-in was so cool.
And you had to like tune in on your radio.
That was special to us because of the lava short.
The lava song. That was the best short I've ever seen.
And we wanted to cover it so badly. Like afterwards, like, we gotta do a cover.
Let's do it. I love you so much.
I just love you.
I love you. I ended up recording it afterwards, like after my trip. It's because I miss you both so much and I just wanted to sing a song that reminded me of you.
I want to sing a song.
I just wanted to sing some songs for you.
So
Halloween, yeah, so skip forward to last year. So we dressed up as Inside Out characters and you were Joy. And you had like the weirdest wig that just wasn't Joy's hair at all.
It was okay, like she has a blue pixie cut, and I have brunette long hair. So
also, we decided to dress up about 5 hours before like everybody goes out trick or treating. So it was like we're on limited time. We hadn't like pre-planned it at all.
No, you know me. I never plan anything.
And you took me. What was that massive, huge store that we went to? The dress-up store.
It's just pop-up Halloween stores in old warehouses. They just like
that was the
Halloween
biggest store I've ever seen. Especially like it was literally all dress-up stuff. Like it had such a wide array of like be a Mario, be a duck, be an assassin. Okay, let's do it.
But I think the fun part is making your own costume.
It was
that's
so
the funnest part of it.
Yeah. We ended up going to TK Maxx and like just buying stuff there.
Yep.
Like you call it TJ Maxx, innit? You big weirdo.
The J is for justice.
The K is
because we have none of that here.
The K is for be cooler. So that was fun. I remember one of the houses we went to, because you took me like a way away, like to a weird estate, like just to try and do trick-or-treating.
Oh yeah.
You took me, it was like a good half an hour drive.
Look, the neighborhood I live in, terrible. Doesn't give out any candy. It's like dead. And if you were a kid, you know all the cool neighborhoods. You know which ones that give out the fancy big chocolate bars, so you have to like work around it. Except this one lady was like questioning us. She's like, "Do you even live in this neighborhood? Where do you live?" And I was like, "Geez, lady." It's like, "How old are you?" And I'm like, "Does it matter?"
Oh my gosh. The kids loved it. Loved that we were dressing up, but the adults were just like, are they mental patients or what?
That's so mean. I was like, "You've never seen an adult dress up for Halloween? Come on."
I think it was more the fact that we were knocking on the houses and they were like, "Do we have to give you candy? Like, you are old people." I remember that creepy house that was like...
Karen, listen, Karen, you're going to throw away all those Sour Patch Kids tomorrow. Why don't you just give them to me today?
Listen, Karen. You say names so weird. Oh, that's amazing. I do remember one of the houses that like decked out like their front yard and like the doorway to their house and like made it like a weird haunted house thing. Do you remember that one? Had like a skeleton flying and all that kind of shiz.
Halloween can get really intense. Like I remember Rebecca and I went to a haunted house one year.
Yeah.
Back when we were both in our mutually, over relationships.
Yeah.
But people just dress up their houses in full on.
I don't get it.
Like haunted, and people like line up and pay money to get scared.
No,
I just think it takes
too much resources, and I just think it's just not worth it. It's just not a thing that would be bothered to do. Like people barely put like Christmas lights up at an actual like holiday that everybody celebrates, let alone like. Let's buy a 6-foot skeleton and scare the bejesus out of little kids.
True. And it's like, at least Christmas is fun and exciting. Like, you want to, have a nice light show so the kids can be like, yay! But having a haunted house, it's just like, who wins from that? You come out of the haunted house and you're just like confused and dazed and scared and shaking, and then you go get in and out to try and forget about your, horrifying experience, and you just spent like $20,000 on all these decorations to scare a few people.
No.
Who really wins?
Exactly.
Nobody. The industry.
Nobody wins. So weird. Like, I get it, but I don't. I dress up for like a party or something, but just Halloween, I just don't see the point of it. At all. Oh, do you remember us going to Starbucks, like, after we went trick-or-treating, after we filled up our little buckets? Like, hey, are you dressing up for Halloween? Yep. Are you not from America? Nope. Is this your first time? Yep. I lost my Halloween virginity. Woohoo!
Wow!
I'm celebrating it with a flat white with an extra shot, please. So good. We did so much that trip, because Rebecca got married that trip. It was your birthday. Yeah. We did so much.
Yeah, we did a lot.
So much. I don't even remember everything else
I feel
we
like
did.
every time we see each other, it's just like, we pack
Plan.
much.
So much. Man, that's crazy.
You know what we have been talking about?
What?
Jammy Dodgers.
Jammy Dodgers. So, one of the first nights, because I basically spent evenings with you, like, the first trip that you guys were here. So, I, like, went to the shops and, like, bought you, like, Milky Way stars? I can't remember what they're called. Oh, my gosh. That's so bad.
I remember those. The star chocolate things.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh, why can't I remember what they're called? Anyway. Oh, my gosh. I've just lost 10 English points. Jammy Dodgers and Jaffa Cakes, and I made you like try them all in like half an hour, and you just loved the Jammy Dodger name as well as like the biscuits so much. So basically Jammy Dodgers are a biscuit filled with like jam,
yeah,
and have like a love heart in the centre.
The best.
And you love them so much.
I love it so much. I've never been obsessed with this. So I think it's because it's not readily available here that I'm like, oh, I need it now.
I'm the same with goldfish. But yeah, so I ended up like, did I talk to you? No, it wasn't before. I've called you a Jammy Dodger since, because like in the UK, if you like do like a fluke, we also call you a Jammy Dodger for the same like sort of vibe. So it's like, oh, you did a fluke, you Jammy Dodger. So I've called that you multiple times, and now you've just adopted it into our...
I did. It works, because my whole life is a fluke. Hey, nice segue into self-depreciating comedy to hide my true feelings.
I'm gonna let you take this one.
I mean, we all do it.
All do it. It's another just deflection of not showing our true feelings.
Yes, it's absolutely deflecting your true feelings, and I do it constantly. I do it unconsciously,
Yeah.
Like, it's a reflex. It's an automatic reflex, because I've been like more aware of it recently.
Yeah.
Because I mean, nobody wants to get hurt, but it's so much easier to, like, appear like you're okay by, you know, feeding into it with comedy.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of an example that I've done recently where it was like, like when people ask me how my grandma is,
Mm-hmm.
because my grandma, she's like declining in health, she's getting really old,
Yeah.
and people ask me, I'm like, and she's like, oh, you know, she's doing all right, she's doing okay, and, you know, I'll like throw in a joke here or there, like, yeah, you know, she's getting on in years, and you just don't want to get too deep with people, so you just like throw a joke their way and kind of hope that they laugh and leave.
Laugh and leave, please.
Laugh and leave, please. Laugh and leave. But, like, what's the fix for that, you know? Because, I mean, it could be almost inconsiderate or offensive at times if you use it wrong. And now that it's, like, this huge reflex for me, I don't want to go in as insensitive to a situation when, you know, I don't want to poke fun at something that someone really feels strongly about, and then they feel like they can't talk about it.
I think more and more, it's more of like a protection and barrier for you. Like that's been your coping mechanism for so long, and it's a lot of people's coping mechanism. Like how we were talking the other week about social media. It's like we were saying like we did X amount of posts on different days, but like we knew how we were feeling on that post, and we knew how we were feeling on that post, and it's just the same with deflecting. It's like you're trying to not let it sink in, like the gravity of the situation, by deflecting it, by having a comeback, or by going, lol, that was funny, laugh with me, or it's not going to get awkward. It's just a way of coping with it, and yeah, I think it's just a way to not feel things as much as social media is. So it's just super hard. Like with social media, it's a fine line of being, let's be raw, but people want to be alone with their feelings a lot of the time, because that's the millennial way of thinking and the situation everybody's got themselves in, and it's a habit more than anything. Like you say it's a reflex, but it's a habit. It's like I can choose not to be honest or do anything and be like, haha, remember that time I broke a bone? Lol. It's just like, it's just a way of deflecting, like you said. But yeah.
When I didn't have my job, like I just quit my job.
Yeah.
And there was that like 4-month period where I didn't have a job. And, you know, thinking back about it now, when I talk about it with my friends, it's like, I just sat around, did nothing. Just, you know, was like just a lazy potato. Ha ha ha. But I think back about that time and I was miserable. I was like, literally, I was thinking about getting like therapy because I was so depressed that I felt so useless, and you know, not having a job, not having any source of income is like so much stress.
Yeah, but I remember you in that time.
I feel like I'm diminishing that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, you know, I don't know. It's just like, you want to get deep with people, and I feel like sometimes I do, and then I immediately revert back to like, oh, but you know, like, I don't want people to feel too bad, so I like throw in a joke at the end to be like, oh, you know, lighthearted.
Because it's out of your comfort. I remember you in that time, and as much as I knew you wanted to get a job, you just weren't ready. You needed the break from your old schedule, and like you had like so many different pressures from so many different places. Like being close to you at like during that period, you needed a break. You needed mental rest and emotional rest, and it is a thing. Like I just said before, it's a way of not dealing with it, but dealing with it, going, lol, I'm a bum, la 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 la. Again, I think we should be reading through the lines with social media and with stuff like that. It's like, if people aren't comfortable being, like, honest about what they're doing, then they either need to be closer with the person that they want to share with, or go to a place where they are comfortable, like, let's go off for 5 minutes, and I just need to, like, load off to you. Let's just talk about it, accept it, know that someone's listening to you, and then let's carry on, instead of like always just deflecting before you just don't feel anything.
And when I was actually in that job, it was so traumatizing and so stressful that
I remember
I would take like these 5-minute breaks, and I would go into this tower room and I would cry my eyes out and call Rebecca and be like, you know, hey, I need you to listen, this is what happened just now, and it's it's like, and then, you know, I'd go back, and that's how I would cope with every day. And I was realizing, like, I can't keep doing this. No. I can't live my life like this, like, at this stressful job, and just, you know, cry every week. So it's so important to just be good to yourselves, and that would be my message to everybody, is, like, take the time, like, realize what you need, what you want, and if it's not worth it, if it's causing you more stress in your life, then it's like, just leave it.
Yeah.
because everyone kept telling me, don't quit your job unless you have a job lined up. And I was like looking for a job, but I couldn't find one. But I was stressing out about my current job while I was looking for a new job. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm done. I'm just, there's like a lot of stigma again. And so, you know, people and family asking you, you know, like, oh, like you quit your job. Well, what are you doing next? You know, people are always asking you about your future. And like, it's like no one is asking you how you are now. You know, it's important to think about your future, but how you're doing now is also important.
Yeah, I feel like that's been our weird, like, way of growing up. Like, I know we've talked a little bit about it before, but like when you finish in high school, it's like, well, what are you doing in the future? Do you have a job, like, set up? Like, what are you going into? Let's follow, like, a path, step by step, step by step, step by step. If you're not there, you're not doing great at life. It's like, you cannot physically put that much pressure on someone. Like, I know so many people who have, like, switched their jobs and careers, like, later on in life just because they weren't happy and they felt forced into it. It's like, well, by doing that and continuing the pattern, you're not giving us chance to find ourselves. It's like a lot of people go to uni here because they don't know what they're doing and they have no, like, future ideals or whatever. So it's just like, let's take a step back earlier on so people aren't feeling, like, pressured into certain situations. I feel like it's so important to start not putting so much pressure on the younger generation. It's like, we're older and we still don't have it figured out, so why are we pressuring, like, 16-year-olds? I don't understand.
Yeah. It's such a big decision. Like, decide what you want to do with the rest of your life. And you're giving it to 18-year-olds? You know how unstable 18-year-olds are?
Yeah. It's crazy.
But
what would you tell your younger self now? Knowing all the stuff you know, what would you tell your younger self?
Oh, there's so many things. I'd just be like, don't care about what people think about you. They're going to say whatever they want anyway. They're always going to find something wrong with you. So just be yourself and don't hide what makes you happy. Don't force yourself into things you don't like just because it's going to please other people. Just do what you want, and eventually people who are like-minded and people who appreciate you for you will show up in your life, and they will be the ones that matter.
Preach, bro.
Also, learn how to do makeup better. I just now started learning how to do, like, proper eyeshadow. Like, good, blended, nice eyeshadow. I look at my eyeshadow from, like, 2011. I'm like, sweet, blended, please. You look like a freaking, you know, like a raccoon who just, you know, got blown up. Like, something blew up in its face, and now, like, black marks are everywhere. Oh, it was horrifying.
And younger Melanie, always go to the UK. You'll find friends there.
Dude, what would it have been like if we had met younger? I feel like I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird to think about. Like, we were talking that off after we recorded last week, and it's just like, I totally agree with Rebecca. She was just like, I think it'd be a natural progression for all of us because we get on so well. I feel like we just get into a better rhythm with each other instead of, like, having the once a year thing. It'd just be, like, so much easier. And it's like, let's do this week. Awesome. Let's watch a movie. Like, all the little things that normal, like, friendships do. Like, it'd just be amplified and we could do it much more freely. It'd be so good.
I know, it would be nice.
Just somebody give me a job in California. Yeah. So, I don't remember the other thing that you wanted to talk about. How do I explain it?
Are you talking about, like, feeling good where I am now?
Yeah.
In life?
Yeah.
Yes, because I do.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's always things that, you know, will bother me or I wish would happen. But I think as far as where my career and my mental state are, I think it really fell into place. Like, I had to have that kind of, like, earthquake happen. It kind of, like, shook me.
Yeah.
I was on my feet, and then I just kind of, like, got up, and I'm just now, like, starting to walk again, and I'm in a good place. So...
let's go more into the...
Oh, no, I know what you mean now. I'm sorry. When I said in the moment, I said I'm somebody who's very, like, in the moment.
Okay.
Like, long distance, okay, so, yes. I'm a person who, when I'm doing something or I'm with somebody, I'm in that moment. I'm that, like, perfect, what the baby boomers would like to say, I'm not always on my phone all the time, because I like to, enjoy the time I'm spending with the people I'm with.
Yeah.
So it makes long distance relationships, though, very hard for me, because if you're not in my face or in my vicinity, I will forget. And it's not because you guys don't matter, or it's not because, you're not important or special in my life. Like, I do it to my parents too all the time now, because I'm like not living with them. I'm living in like a house. I'm house sitting for like the summer. And my parents are like, did you forget about us? And I'm like, no, it's just, I don't think about it. I just like to do what I'm doing in the moment, and I don't put priorities on all those long distance relationships that I have, because I have so many now. It used to be like I have one pen pal in Washington, and that's the one person I have to contact outside of it. But now it's like I have my friends from SLO scattered. I have some friends from high school scattered. I have you who's in England, and I have some friends from Italy, and I met all, as you become an adult and you grow, you meet a lot more people that are not going to be physically present in your life.
Yeah.
And no one prepared me for that. So I'm just like, it's really hard, because all of my best, closest friends are not physically near me, and the people who are near me don't understand me as well as you guys do.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
It causes a bit of resentment, which I wish I didn't have, because
I am so the same. Yeah. Yeah,
It's like, well, Naomi would have said this, and I'm like, but you're not Naomi, and she's far away. And like, obviously, I can give you a call, but it's not the same as like having someone there,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I said the exact same, like, to Rebecca. I especially when you guys were like finishing uni and like struggling with different things, I wanted to be like so much more a part of what you guys were like had going on, and it just felt like I was a nuisance, either like time difference wise, or like I said, like so many different days like have different like stresses or like planned out things, and it just you don't always fit into each other's day when you're long distance, because you can text people like who you're like around and be like, oh, it's a similar time, it's the end of the day, and it's like when it's the end of my day, it's like the start of your day, so it's just so so annoying.
So weird. Like right now it's probably super late right now for you, like
yeah, it is 12:30 in the morning.
No.
Is that how it works? Nearly 1 a.m.
I mean, and we all say to each other, I don't care what time you call me. If you need to talk, we'll talk. But then, when we're in the moment, it's like, no, I don't want to bother them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it feels like a nuisance.
Like, yeah. I know you may, okay, you know what? Rebecca will be grumpy if you call her at 5 a.m. But, like, there's going to be, like, that little morning grogginess, but I feel, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like if I called you at like, let's say something happened to me now and I called you at like 12:30, you'd be like, okay, let's talk.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, especially for the big things. Like, I'm sure you guys don't care if I found a really pretty colored rock and I had to tell everybody about it.
I care about all colored rocks, Melanie.
I'm so sorry. I did not know.
Where are you going with that?
I went on a sidetrack about rocks, and now
you're just thinking about rocks.
I'm just thinking about those colored rocks. They're so distracting. Right. I feel like you guys will. I feel like you guys don't, like, none of us care if we bother each other, yet somehow we still think that we're bothering the other person.
Oh my gosh, yes, that is 100% accurate.
So it's worded the most confusing way possible, but
100%.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. And I said to Rebecca the other week, like, it's a thing that you feel like a nuisance, but you also just, like, want to find out what's going on or tell people what's going on. It's so annoying.
Why are we like this?
I don't know.
Maybe stop. But I want to get better. I want to get better at these long-distance things and trying to, like, talk to people. I think it's just, society and our parents messed us up from birth. And we are just fighting our way to try and be better human beings since
then. Try and change the normal.
Our family and society traumatized us as kids. We have all these problems now. And in your 20s is when you're trying to figure out, okay, how did life mess me up and how do I fix this?
Yeah.
So I'm always open to hearing ideas about how I can better myself and being a good friend to you and Rebecca. And she knows that. And I know that about her and
Yeah.
you, so.
We're going to get our head in the game and work it out.
Is this a High School Musical?
You got it!
I hate you. I hate you both. I don't want to work on our friendship.
I did not think you'd get it, and I was like laughing to myself, going, oh, Rebecca's going to hear this later on, and you got it straight away. What the heck?
Because I hang out with you two nerds. All I hear.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny.
You thought I was just going to look into the camera like, oh, okay.
Yeah, legit. I was like, oh, she's just going to pass it by. And I'm like, oh, this is my chance. I could definitely do a few High School Musical references in. You got it straight away. What the heck?
You were wrong. I need to identify them so I can shut it.
That's why you know. What the heck? Oh my gosh. I'm so disappointed in myself. We gotta work this out. What are you doing? You dancing along? Rebecca, she's dancing along to High School Musical. I've not got evidence, but she's doing it. She's definitely doing it. The best thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
That podcast, you can't see people, huh?
Yeah, but you believe me, innit? Evidence. I do have evidence. I only tell the truth. I'm British.
Well, you have me there.
Ayo! You're founded on lies. Did you want to talk about anything else? My heart.
I feel like we've covered a lot of bases. I can give you those tips about very thick, luscious eyebrows.
All right.
Tip number 1, be from South America. That's it. And then just shape them however you want.
That's your big tip. Be from a country that you're not from.
Be ethnically eyebrow endowed. That's it. Every
so
person with great eyebrows went through a time where they didn't know how to take care of their eyebrows.
True.
So I had just 2 giant caterpillars that were almost touching at some point in middle school. It's a great photo. I'll show you one day.
I've seen so many pictures of you, like, younger, and I love every single one of them because it's just like you are the same person, but also you're not the same person. It's the best thing ever.
That's very accurate, actually.
So amazing. I'm very accurate. It's because I'm British.
Gosh,
you can't see it, but she's rolling. She's rolling her eyes.
If you're British, you must be honest. You must be accurate. You must be
at all times.
Flawless.
You must not talk like you're from Scotland, like Melanie does. Jammy Dodger.
I'm a horrible British person. I'm only 2 out of those 3 things.
Incorrect. You must be a truth teller at all times. Hashtag being a Brit. Instead of it's Brittany bitch, it's like I'm British bitch.
It's Britain bitch.
I'm bringing England back. Those other countries don't know how to act. I'm gonna stop being so nerdy. JK.
Never stop being nerdy.
JK. Nerdy is for life.
Rolling.
Don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to talk about.
No, that's pretty much it. We've endowed our wisdom as much as we can. It's up to everybody else now.
It's true.
To live their lives.
What are 3 challenges you want to say to people to take away how we either talk to each other or how we communicate or along them lines? Go, go, go. 3 things.
3 things. 3 things that I want to challenge people to do?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to make them serious. I was going to be like, don't talk like a Scottish person.
No.
Or not a British person.
Give people real challenges.
Serious challenges. Okay. Number 1. Before you say something to someone, think about if you want the same thing being said to you. It's such a universal law, but I feel like people forget it sometimes.
True.
Just think about if what you're saying is necessary, if it's kind, if it's going to help the person. Otherwise, just leave it alone, you know?
Yeah.
And that goes to people you know, that goes to strangers, that goes to your family. Just, you know, just practice kinder speech because life is hard enough. And let's spread more kindness in the world. Number 2, I challenge people to, if you have a coping mechanism that is unhealthy, I'm pretty sure people have told you about it maybe. Like, if your friends are telling you something that you're doing is unhealthy, maybe, since they're the people that care about you, think about how you can help yourself quit that habit or that mechanism that you know, makes other people uncomfortable, because it's, in the end, you're bettering yourself for it. So if you have a quirk or a bad habit, try to kick it. Listen to your friends, ask them for advice on... It's really weird to ask somebody, like, hey, what's wrong with me?
But, like, in a job or work
you're
environment...
opening yourself to a can of worms that you usually try to avoid. Like, you always want your friends to be supportive, and you're asking your friends... Yeah, so let's make that, like, ask your friends what you can improve on, because those are the people you should be asking and you should be trusting. Yeah. Like, you should feel comfortable having that conversation with.
Or even, people. Like, in that quirk effort, if you're doing it with everybody, then it's unhealthy. If you've got like a select group of friends that you're still trying to do it with, and you say that you trust them and you say that you have a good relationship with them, then you shouldn't be doing uncomfortable stuff with them people more. Yeah.
There's like amendments to these, but
yeah. 3.
Number 3. Drum roll. It's 2. It's my advice for myself, for my younger self. Just try and spot where you're being genuine, I guess. Yeah. And if something genuinely makes you happy, don't feel bad about it. Talk about it. Yes, just don't care about what other people think. Mm-hmm. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to force yourself into a path or a way of life that you're not happy in because your parents, your family, your friends, your superiors, people you're trying to impress tell you that you need to live your life that way. Yeah. You don't need to live your life any certain way. You live your life the way you want to, as long as you're not, hurting people or anything. Just like follow your heart.
It's really, really good. No, it's really, really good.
All these are just such common sense things that they teach us as kids, but they don't reinforce it when we're adults. Yeah. It's like follow your dreams in every single kid's movie, but when you turn 18, it's like, okay, but your dreams suck, so be an engineer. Yeah. No, it's true though. Like, we lose so much of our sense of magic from when we're kids, and they don't reinforce it as adults, and I feel like everybody just like is less happier. Yeah. What advice would you give to someone your age? That nobody has it 100% figured out yet, and you shouldn't expect yourself to either. Just because people seem like they have their lives figured out, that's their social media, hun. Get with the tea, sis. That's not how it actually is. Compare your life to all these other people. Don't compare yourself. Live your life, man. Be chill.
You're such an LA girl. Don't look on social media, huh?
Do some yoga. Come on. No, I'm kidding. If you talk to any single other person and you ask them, hey, is your life together? And they're being 100% honest, they'll be like, heck no.
Yeah, legit.
I have nothing figured out. Even my parents. Like, our parents are these, like, grandiose people when we're little kids, but they're just any other adult trying to figure out life, too. Yeah. Don't have to high expectations of yourself. It's okay to, have goals for yourself, but just if you don't live up to your expectations, it's not the end of the world. No one, nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. Oh, and I hate
nobody's perfect. I just hope that someone listens to this and maybe has a change of heart about how they're doing things. Just, keep sticking with whatever you're doing and be happy.
Love it. And we're just regular people like you guys, so if you ever want to have a chat with us...
My Instagram name is Melly Buffa. That's MELYBUFFA.
And mine is Naomi Kane _ so feel free to have a chat with us and send us a message.
Please talk to me. I'm very lonely.
And if you want us to talk about anything else you like our perspective on things, then let us know. We'll happily do another episode.
Yes.
Cha-ching. Did you enjoy it?
Yes. So fun.
Would you recommend it?
I'm going to link it to everybody I know.
Anyway, guys, I've been me, you've been you. It's been beautiful. Thank you so much for talking to us and sharing your wisdom. Let's celebrate honesty and love it.
Woo! Friendship, honesty.
Love, 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 love.